Hi there, my name is Letitia Pfinder and welcome to my channel for another episode of Follow Along Friday. This Follow Along Friday video is a part of the Creative Arts Collaboration hashtag event for this month, and the hashtag is Thankful for Art. You can use that hashtag in the search bar here on YouTube to find lots of other videos by some other awesome and creative YouTubers. So today we'll be making this one-layer watercolor card using a masking technique. And I designed this card because, well, I'm thankful for all of you. I'm thankful to have this platform and to have you guys as viewers. Without you, I'd just be talking to myself, so, you know. And it's really amazing to be able to share all of this with you guys, and I thought this would be a cute way to tell you how much I appreciate your support and that you choose to follow along with me on our creative paths. Alright, so let's get started. For your reference, all of the materials will be listed in the description box below. And this is the card. It says, "You make my world happy." I think it turned out pretty cute, if I do say so myself. Alright, so to get started, I've just cut some watercolor paper. I'm just using some Canson XL, and I've cut it down to size. I have a pre-folded craft paper, like pre-folded card from the dollar store. And I've just cut this slightly smaller. I think it was measuring at about 5.5 by 3.25 or something like that. Somewhere around those dimensions. It's just slightly smaller than the actual card. This actually ended up being smaller than this, but you know, you can play with it and see what kind of frame you'd like around it. So you'll get to see kind of two different sizes there. And I've also gone ahead and made my little masks already because I did make one example of the card already. So there's just these little guys, and I have them all just to the side here. And to make those, it was actually quite simple and maybe a little tedious, but simple. I just got these multi-use labels from the dollar store. They're from Dollarama, I believe. Yep, Dollarama. And I must have gotten these years ago. I'm not sure if you can still find them there, but I have a lot of them. So they're just labels. And I don't believe they're supposed to be repositionable, but they are. So they work very well for this. I know a lot of people use like Post-it tape, but these worked well, and I used them in my Erin Condren planner as like little bullet points and little check-off points. And again, if you guys are interested in seeing how I do that, maybe I'll do a video on that. But all I did was stamp these little guys onto that paper and then fussy cut them out. And you have a perfect mask. Alright, so I'm going to start off with stamping, obviously, and I'm going to be doing this with Momento Tuxedo Black ink because it is a fade-resistant dye ink, so it's waterproof when it's dry, and we will be doing some watercoloring, so we need that feature. And to stamp in layers, to get this kind of scene with your stamps, let's see if I can show you this properly. You always end up stamping your background last, if that makes sense. So the first thing we'll end up stamping, say, is this flower, and then we'll mask it off, and then we can stamp this guy, this raccoon, and then we'll mask him off, and then, you know, we can stamp this flower and mask that off, and the same with these guys. So stamp this, mask it off, stamp this guy, mask him off, stamp this, mask it, the mushroom, stamp it off, and then we can go ahead and stamp all of the trees. So you work front to back. So everything that would be closer to you in person, you stamp first. And so on and so forth. So to do this, I've just got my little flower already. And these stamps I'm using, I'm kind of in love with them. They're Polyclear by Hero Arts. I'm not sure what the name of them is. I don't see it here, but this is them. I got them at Michael's. I got them on my birthdays, and that was September 30th. So they should still be there, I think. If not, maybe you can find them online. I think they're super adorable. And there's lots you can do with stuff like this. So. Anyway, so I've got my little flower here. just going to ink it up. And you have to forget, it's actually, I can't actually bend my thumb, so this is going to be a little bit difficult. But I told you guys, you know, I announced it on Facebook and like Instagram and stuff that I was still going to try to get these videos up because I really love to do them. So I want this to be, so I'm just kind of visualizing it, I want it to be about, say here. Stamp that. Perfect. And then we need to stamp our little guy on the other side there. Because these are two good reference points to have, and they're also, you know, what's in, oops. See, I'm a little bit clumsy, I just got ink on myself. It's hard to kind of move around. I need surgery, minor surgery. I have a cyst. I need it removed because I can't like use my thumb. So that needs to get taken care of. So it's kind of difficult for me to do anything right now. Alright, so we want this to be about the same length apart. We want them about, there's pretty good. Just step them down. There it goes. Just clean them off. I'm actually really impressed with these stamps, I must say. When I got them, or any stamps I've really gotten before, like brand new, I've had trouble inking them up at first. Like just the ink holding onto them, and I had a lot of my stamps, I have trouble with them sticking onto my acrylic block. But these I have had absolutely no problem with at all. They're very sticky. They like the ink just goes right on. They get a really good stamp, and I'm very impressed with them. It was a really good buy, I think. I don't remember how much they were. I think they were under $20 though, maybe around the $16 range. But again, I'm in Canada too, so the prices will vary. So I'm just putting the masks on these guys now. Just trying to line them up as best I can. Okay. And this is one thing you might want to just keep in mind when I made the masks for this guy. And the stem is obviously very, very thin. And when the water hit it from the watercolor, the stem did break off. So just keep that in mind. I mean, on this card, it's really not a big deal because it doesn't really need to be masked off because of where it is. But if you needed it, say for something else, you might want to be very cautious of that. Be very careful with it. Alright, so those guys are in place. So now we can go on and do our next layer. So I'm going to go in with my little raccoon guy here and get him all inked up. Oops. His eyes are a little tricky to get the ink on. Alright. So we want him, I think, about here, maybe here. That's a good spot. I hope there's no skipping or anything. It's really hard for me to place this block down right now. Oh no, that turned out pretty well. Okay. we're just going to let that dry. And the next thing we're going to stamp is those mushrooms in the background. And I love these little cards like with the scenes on them. I think they're just so much fun to do, and they're really adorable. And when somebody finds out that they're handmade like this, you know, they really wonder how you do it. Like it's a nice card to give to somebody, I think. Right. Ink that up. And we'll go in and stamp that. So I want them to kind of peek out behind him here. Good spot right there. There we go. And then we can, while those are drying for a moment, we can go in and stamp our flower, our other flower here. Nope, not sure where my little flower went. Oh, we'll stamp the ladybug for the time being while I'm looking for that flower. Alright. This ladybug's just kind of going to be chilling in there, you know, doing its thing. I think he is going to go about here. Oh, there's my little flower. Okay, we're going to go in and stamp that now. And that's just going to kind of sit beside this flower that's already there on a bit of a tilt. Go. Okay, I think those are dry enough now to go in and stick the masks on. And I'm just going to remove that little flower mask and put that on top of this guy's mask. Just because this guy is going to be in the background, I don't want, like I'm going to be stamping back here, so I don't want his head to be popping up at all or anything. Oops. Stick that back on. Another little mask. With the ladybug. And just so you guys know, like if this is kind of too slow for you, like too slow pace, you just want to kind of see me do it and not listen to me talk, you can speed up these videos if you go onto the like bottom part of the player there where you like press play and pause and all of that. If you go onto the, I believe it's the right side, there is a little setting there where that lets you, if you click on it, like the little gear and go into the settings, you can change the pace of the video. So you can make it slower, like if something's going too fast for you, like if I have a speed painting up or something, you can slow that down, or if might not being able to put masks on fast enough for you, you can speed that up. Alright. Oh, and we forgot to stamp our little butterfly, so I'm going to do that too. And he just goes in the sky there. And I want the this little squirrel's looking up, so I want him to be kind of looking up at this little guy here. Just put him above our raccoon. And I'm actually thinking maybe for this one I might change around the composition a little bit, like not put the words on the bottom, maybe I'll put them up in the sky or something like that. But you know, when you're making it, it's your card, you do what you like. So that's good. I'll just place that mask on there. Oops. Okay. Those are all stuck down. Alright, so for the trees, I just have these little Christmas guys. I got them in a Christmas collection from Clear Impressions. It was like one of those free ones in a stamping magazine. I'll list the name of it down below. I don't have the package beside me right now, but it's just this grouping of trees. And I am actually not going to be using my Momento to stamp these because they're a solid stamp. They're not an outline. I can't really stamp them in black. I mean, if that's what you're going for, you can do that. So I'm going to be using my my color box, the Petal point. And I'm just going to be going in with dabs of the light green all over it. Ink it up with the lighter green. And then I'm going to go in and just add touches of the dark. I'm going to go and I'm going to find kind of where I want my tree line to be. I think I want it to be, oh, that looks like a good spot right here. So just kind of above his tail is where my tree line is going to start. I'm just going to stamp that down. Now these inks, and I'm just going to keep doing this with the lighter ink and then the darker ink all the way across the card. So because these, like the Petal point, the ones by Color Box, aren't fade resistant or waterproof or anything like that, I'm just overlapping these stamps. I'm going to be careful when I'm watercoloring over them. So I'm basically just giving them their color now, obviously. I will go in and kind of close any gaps or anything like that with the actual watercolor, but you don't want to soak these because you'll make it run. So I'm just stamping them over and over, overlapping them to make it look like a nice forest behind them there. Because these little critters all live in the forest. Actually, these little critters all live in the city too, so I do see them often. And you can see how the mask is protecting these stamps so that when we lift up, all of those masks will have a really clear, clean, crisp image. And that's what will allow us to add the colors that we want on top of them, or onto the animals and the mushrooms and whatnot. And I think one more will be good. One layer stamps and masking doesn't have to be intimidating. You just kind of plan out what you're doing and go for it. And this technique is super fun to do. And it makes the card look a lot more complicated, I think, than it really is. Alright, so I'll just put that away. I'm just going to let this dry for a little bit while I get my watercolors ready. It doesn't take long to dry. I'm just going to let it sit for a moment, and I'm actually just going to turn off my camera while I do that because I'm going to give it at least 5 minutes to kind of set in, and then, yeah, I don't have anything else I can show you guys while that's waiting, so I'll be back in a moment. Won't seem like a moment for you, but it will be a moment. Alright, see? Not even a moment for you guys. So I've let this set for a little bit just so that the watercolor isn't lifting it up as much. I mean, I'm going to be careful going around it, but yeah. So off to the side here, I have some paper towel, a glass of water, I have just a thicker paintbrush here, and then I also have a thin one. And I have my Winsor Newton Cotman watercolor treble set here. And we're just going to go ahead and start painting. We're going to leave the masks on for now to kind of protect them and guide us. I'm going to go in and just wet up, put some water in my green here because we're going to start with the grass. And I'm just using some sap green for this. And I'm just putting some wet on dry. Just laying down a base color here. This isn't going to be any kind of like advanced watercolor technique or anything. I really can't with my finger right now, and honestly this is just a simple watercolor card. We're just coloring in. I'm going to go in. I'm actually going to remove this for a moment to blend that out. And I really just had that tape there to kind of hold everything in place while I was laying down the paint and stamping and whatnot, but it's fine. I'm even going up into the trees here. Because obviously the grass will extend back there. I'm not using too much water on this. I don't want it to buckle very much because that's not fun to try to smooth out onto a card. And this card really doesn't need it, so. I mean, this is just like a great card in general. I think that this would look really great colored with Copics or even pencil crayon. You know, you can use whatever you have. I mean, I'm showing you guys watercolor just because I think scenes like this are really cute in watercolor, and I haven't actually gotten to do one yet with you guys or anything, so I thought that this would be a good opportunity for that. Alright, so we've got that color put in place. Now I'm going to go ahead and move on to the sky. And for the sky, I'm just going to go in with a light wash of water first, because we need, or I want anyways, the sky to look, it's not going to be fluid, but it's going to look a little more fluid because of the clouds and stuff, so I'd like some variation in color here, where I wasn't so concerned with that on the grass. So I'm just putting down some water, so this is a wet on wet technique. And again, I'm just being cautious of that that stamping there, because that is not stamped with waterproof ink. Alright, let's go in with my blue. And I'm just gonna kind of dab on the color here. Like so. Alright. And just go in and grab a little bit more color, a little more water. Get in around the butterfly and all up here. So basically what I'm doing is just kind of dabbing my paintbrush like so. And you can work this up and play with it and get it as dark or light as you like. I'll make sure I'm gonna get in around this mask here. Like I said, you don't want to soak this kind of paper. You probably don't want to soak post-it paper either. So just be careful, cautious when you're doing that. Alright, I think the sky is done. I'm just going to let it dry for a moment, and we'll probably add in a sun as well. I'm going to go in and lift off the masks here. Let's see, you got a really crisp, clean image. I'm trying to be a little careful with masks because I'll save them and use them again. But this is actually the second time I've already used them, so. There we go. And actually it looks like I missed a little spot in here around the ladybug, so I'm just going to go in and fill that in so there's not any kind of weird white spaces in there. Found a couple more. Alright, I think that's good. Okay. And I think the butterfly is okay to lift up now as well. Alright, that's looking good. Alright, we're going to go in and color our creatures here. I'm going to start off with the raccoon, and I'm just going to go in with some burnt umber and burnt sienna. First I'm going to go in with the burnt sienna. Just kind of lay a light base color here. just very lightly. Even lighter around the eyes. Right, and then I'm going to go in with the burnt umber. That's going to be kind of like our shadow. Darker spots of the fur on him. Just going to start here. Just kind of outline parts of his little body with some pretty thick paint. Like, it's not very watered down. There's like just enough water on there to make it smoothly go on. And we'll put some in here. His tail. Their tails can be pretty dark. And I know I want a line coming down here and framing the top of his eyes, almost like eyebrows, I guess. Not eyebrows, but similar to. And make that a little bit darker. Okay, and then I'm just going to go in with some water and blend and smooth this all out. It's really interesting and fun to play with watercolors. You can push and pull the water around. So obviously they're watercolors, so they're water activated, and that's how you use them. And you can get some really interesting and fun effects. Alright. Can't really zoom it in for you guys, but I can show you what's going on there. So we have an outline around him. He's coming together very nicely. I'm just going to go in and add some straight burnt sienna. It's kind of got like a reddish tint to it, into his tail here. And we're just going to add it to the nose. Yep, he's all done. I'm going to go in and color a little squirrel, and I think we're going to make him a little more red to bring him out a bit. I don't want to make him the exact same color as the raccoon. So I'm going to go in with, we'll probably do some cad red. Just trying to fit it back into my thing here. And I'm just going to go down with the light base layer of red. I know that looks kind of crazy right now, but bear with me here. And it kind of will tie the rest of the color scheme in a little bit more, because there is quite a bit of red going on in this picture. I know it doesn't look like it right now, but like the mushrooms are going to be red, ladybug is red. I'm going to put a more reddish purple in the butterfly, and along with some red. And you also have like some, I don't know, it looks like the burnt sienna has a bit of a red in it, like a bit of a tint in it. So kind of just pulled it all together. You can make the flowers like a purpley red too. Alright, so now that that's done, I'm going to go in with my burnt sienna and apply that over top. And just a light layer. And then to tone them down a bit, we will add some burnt umber. So it's got a bit of yellow in it too, it looks like, against this red. I'm just going to add in some darker parts of the burnt sienna into this tail. Make it look a little more bushy. And just along his legs and belly here, his back, because it's going to blend out into the shadows of the burnt umber. Alright. I'm going to go in with the burnt umber now. And I'm just going to add it in along the back here, up here, and along the stomach, back, just what we did a moment ago. And then I'm going to go in, put some more in the tail, kind of dabbing it in along here, up. Give it a little bit more of a bushy effect. And blend this out a little bit again. That's so you guys can see them there. I'm just going to use a little bit of just plain water and smooth out a bit of this. Oh, sorry, just hit my camera. And a little on the tail as well. Because where some of the paint pooled, it made it a little glossy, and I wasn't too impressed with that. So, yeah, there we go. So there's our little squirrel. Now I'm going to move on to the butterfly. And for the butterfly, I'm going to use this this purple lake that came in my travel set here. Oops. And then I'm just going to add that to the bottom of the butterfly. Just make it a little bit darker, I think. Just add in a little detail there. That's fine. You can see that. And then I'm going to go in with a little bit of the Cad Red. So I'm just going to go in with a little bit of the Cad Red on the top. And I'm just putting the base layer on there. I'm going to go in with just a little bit of paper towel, and I'm just going to dab it. I'll just give it a little interest there. Okay. Just fix that up. There. So you can see. Oops. Okay. So now I'm just going to put a little bit of brown. So I'm just going to use some of that, some of the burnt sienna for the head and the body of this little guy here. There's not much to him there, so I will even add in a touch of burnt umber just to darken him a bit. Yeah, maybe the burnt umber is a little bit better for that. So you want him to be dark. Yeah, I think the burnt umber is better. Alright, so we've got our little butterfly done. I think we're going to move on to the flowers here. So I'm just going to go in with some lemon yellow. And maybe we'll just, while we're at it, we'll add in our sun as well. I'm just going to go in the middles of the flower here. And then I'm going to use some of that Purple Lake again. And add it into our flower. Flowers, plural. Guess I've been talking for a long time. I'm starting to lose my voice. Sorry if this video is a little long for you guys. There's just a lot of little things to be done. Oh, sorry about that noise, guys. That was actually my bedroom door. The wind just like, it's crazy out there today, so the window's open to let some fresh air in, but it's like making the doors in my house go crazy. Alright. We'll just play around a little bit with that. I think I might lighten this a bit. Just pull up some of the color with some water. And maybe dab it. Oh, that looks nice. Okay. Just so you guys can see. Okay. And I think it's a good time to go in and do the sun now. So for that, I'm just going to use the lemon yellow, and I'm going to add just a bit of water to the corner here. So I'd like the sun to be here. And then I'm just going to go in and touch it. Dab it with some yellow. And I'm just going in, dab just a bit of that here and there. There we go. You can see there's just a hint of the sun there. It's actually brighter, I think, in person, but comes out a little bit more in person than it does on the camera. Alright, and now all that's left is our little mushrooms down here and our ladybug, and then we'll stamp our sentiment. So we're almost done. I'm just going to go in with my Cad Red and color in all of these little guys here. And I'm just leaving the little circles on them white. I'm not using a lot of water for this, just to keep it quite pigmented. I'm just using enough to make it work. Alright, and then I'm just going to go in and add some to the bottoms here. And we'll go in and do the exact same thing to the ladybug, leaving the white spots. Ladybug is super simple to do. There we go. You can see that. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but my son is like telling us a story right now. Alright, so I'm gonna go in and just add a little bit of brown into the trees here, just so you can see the stems of the trees, and to the stems of the mushrooms. So I'm going in with just a little tiny bit of burnt umber here, very lightly, lots of water. And I'm just, oops, not enough. Anytime I see just a little spot there where the bark or the trunk of the tree would be showing, I'm just adding a little touch of brown, like so. And then I'm just going to go in and do the same thing here. Oop, that's done. That's really simple. Okay. And what's left? I guess we just have to stamp our sentiment now. So I'm going to go in and do that. And so I'm using the same sentiment. It says, "You make my world happy." And I can put it back on the bottom here. But I think it would actually look really cute on the top. So I think we're going to try that. Just to put something up there as well. So you can see the original, it's stamped down here. And this is slightly bigger. And the animals are a little bit further apart, but it would work down here as well. I just want to draw the eye around a bit more on this one. And I think that will look really cute up on the top. So I'm just using my Momento Tuxedo Black. And I think I'm going to put it just right here. Okay. There we go. You can see alright, so now the card is pretty much done. I'm just going to go in with my white gel pen, and I'm going to just outline the words here to make them stand out a little bit more and have me more cloud-like. And bear with me because I can't really hold a pen, so... And then once this is done... Uh-oh. There's a toddler in the room. Once this is done, then it's just time to add it onto the card backing. It's possible you might need to go over this outline a couple times. I know sometimes the gel, the ink in this on these pens become a little translucent once you get them on here, so they're not as crisp. A little like watery, I guess is the right way to say it. So.
Go. Go.
All right. I think he wants to come up and help me. Can you say hi?
Hi.
Hi. If you guys have like a pen or like something of the sort that has kind of a more opaque white, I think that would look really amazing against this. This is what I have, so this is what I'm using, and it looks good, and it adds a little bit to the card. So if you end up going over any of the stamped ink, if you have something like a Misty, you can go back over it and just restamp, or you can just use like a thin Copic multi-liner, like some sort of liner, and go in with that and just kind of touch it up. Okay, almost done. And you can make this outline as thick or thin as you like. It might be a little hard to pick up on camera. Yeah, that's okay. You guys know it's there. So I'm just going to go in and stick this onto the card now. I've already attached some double-sided adhesive. And here we go. Oh, this is actually like a really long video. But hopefully you guys don't mind. And I did mention you can speed it up and whatnot if you want. I mean, you're already at the end of it if you've stuck around this long, but hey, good for you. Okay, and I'm just trying to center it here. Oh, I'm just having so much trouble trying to do anything. Okay, I think that'll do it. And there you have it. It's all done. And like I said, this card is dedicated to you guys, and I thought it was just so cute and perfect for it. And yeah, so here it is. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Maybe not this kind of thumb, but a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more from me, you can go ahead and click that subscribe button down below, and you'll be notified whenever I post a new video. And I love to hear from you guys, so if you want to talk to me or let me know what you think of doing this technique, you can leave a comment down below, or you can talk to me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. All of my profiles will be linked in the description box below, so you can find them there. And I hope you guys are having a lovely, lovely fall. I think this is almost a little fall themed, maybe. A little. No, I don't know. Some fall colors are in there anyways. All right, I hope you guys have a wonderful day and enjoy the hashtag event. Until next time.